How do primary elections differ from general elections? Imagine a big race where candidates compete to be chosen first, then face off in the final showdown. That's the core of how elections work in the United States. Primary elections and general elections are two key steps in this process, but they serve very different purposes. Primary elections are like tryouts inside each political party. Registered members of a party pick which candidate will representing them in the main election. For example, Democrats choose their favorite Democrat, and Republicans pick their top Republican. These primaries happen at different times depending on the state, often in the spring or early summer before the main election. Some states have closed primaries, meaning only registered party members can vote. Others have open primaries, where anyone can participate regardless of party registration. There are also blanket or nonpartisan primaries, where voters see all candidates on one ballot and pick from different parties. In contrast, the general election is the final contest where everyone can vote. It takes place on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November every even-numbered year. In this election, voters choose from the nominees of different parties or independent candidates. The goal is to decide who will actually hold the office. For example, in a presidential election, the general election determines who becomes the president. Every registered voter can participate, no matter their party affiliation. Ballots also differ. Primary ballots usually show only candidates from one party, or in open primaries, voters choose which party's primary they want to vote in. Some primaries, like the top two system in California, show all candidates from all parties on one ballot, and voters pick their favorite. In the general election, ballots display all the candidates from all parties running for each office. Voters see everyone at once and pick the person they want to win. Timing is another difference. Primaries happen at different times depending on the state and office. Presidential primaries are often in March, April, or June. The general election is always on the same date, the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. The winners of primaries move on to face each other in the general election, where the final decision is made. Candidates compete within their party during primaries to earn the nomination. The candidate with the most votes in the primary becomes that party's official nominee. Sometimes, if no one gets a majority, a runoff election is held between the top two candidates. In the general election, the nominees from each party go head-to-head. The candidate who gets the most votes wins the office and begins their term. Because each state has its own rules, the primary process can look different across the country. Some states have closed primaries, others have open or blanket primaries. For example, Pennsylvania uses a closed primary in May, while California uses a top two open primary system. Louisiana has a blanket primary, sometimes called a jungle primary, where all candidates run together. Special elections can also happen outside this cycle. These are called to fill vacancies when an official resigns, dies, or is removed. They may be held separately or combined with primaries or general elections. In all cases, they are open to all registered voters. So, primaries are about parties choosing their representatives, and the general election is about everyone choosing who will govern. Both steps are essential in the process of selecting leaders in the United States.